Hello and welcome to our webinar on my.kuka, my.kuka. My.kuka is a fairly new platform for us at Kuka, and the goal from us is to actually provide you with all the information that we sit on directly to you. So that means that we actually have a lot of news events and specific events which you as users could register to. We have obviously detailed information about our portfolio for you to access. We have a digital marketplace for both our products and service and our digital services. One feature is that you actually can register your Kuka products online, and once done this, you could then download all the required documentation or the technical documentation for that specific product. You can also access our support line and create support cases directly in my.kuka, and not only create them but follow the progress from them, upload files, receive files from our partners and our service technicians directly. So that means that it's open for you 24/7 and not only during office hours. You will also have access to our Kuka College here. That means access to some free e-learning topics, but also if and when you join these trainings, you will get access to the trainings you've undergone and the documentation that comes with that training session. Your licenses will also be available through this page. So if you buy some licenses, let's say Kuka Sim, for example, your licenses will be downloadable along with the software itself from these pages as a resource. And there are also a number of cloud-based softwares which you can access through kuka.com, and we're going to take a closer look at them during separate webinars. But for example, there is something called Kuka Compose, which allows you to put in load data to select the correct robot for your application. But first, you need to get to my.kuka, and if you haven't already done so, you need to register here. So you'll find my.kuka.com is the web address here. And here you either can log in if you're already logged in, or if you're not, you then need to create an account, which you do here. You fill in the form, accept the conditions, and set send. And shortly thereafter, you will receive a registration email in your inbox for the email you entered. And this email asks you to do a few things. Our system tries to combine your account with any customer data we have in our customer database, so we don't get duplicates. That means that if you are a registered customer with us, we will try to connect your account with this and asks you to confirm that connection. Or if you're not a customer, then you can create a blank new account. And then it asks you for your personal password for your login. And after that, you have been successfully registered at my.kuka. Any questions so far before we jump into looking at the my.kuka live instead? No questions? Can you all see this? No? That's better. So once you've logged in to, and I've now logged in as a demo user. This, what you see is actually a little bit different depending on if you are a customer or a registered partner. A registered partner will see slightly more than we will see right now. But this my.kuka has a certain structure. Obviously, you have a menu and a user credentials where you can change your profile or edit your profile. And as the home menu, you start up top with the news pages. And here are a number of news articles, and we could also choose to see all news. And here are a number of news events of different types. It's product information, for example. It could be interesting applications. I find a Kuka robot that makes drinks is a highly interesting topic. But there are also other types of news. The latest one is that, for example, Kuka was awarded a design prize or a design award for our products. Of course, these news are selectable during your preferences and can be searched as well. Beside the news itself, we then find some features of this my.kuka. And again, one of the features are these news and events, which we actually just had a look at. But there is also one feature that's called product and service data. And here we see a few things. For example, here we could see our used robots. That means that Kuka has a number of used robots for resale, which we can search here. And one of the most interesting thing is the quality of these robots. There are certain classifications of this quality. And the definition of these classifications you can find here. So the robots that are of a superior kind are virtually new robots with the same warranty as a new robot. So for example, if I were to be interested in this robot here, for example, a KR12 robot, which was manufactured 1 year ago, I can now check this or several if I'm interested of these two robots. Click on the next button. Here you will get the search results again. You can write a personal message. For example, I would be interested to know more about this or even get a quote for this. And click next. And then this question would be sent to your sales contact, which would then get back to you with the information you requested. And obviously, you will also see the lead time for delivery for these robots. Questions? Under the product and service data, there's also what's called an experience center for some of our softwares or software services. The first one is what's called Kuka Expert trial. Here you can request an expert trial, and Kuka Expert is our, what did you call it? Our Wikipedia for Google search for Kuka knowledge. It's a site where you will find documentation, drawings, design drawings, application examples, whatever, for your downloading. And we will have a separate topic of this Kuka Expert on Thursday this week. There's also something called Kuka Sim Pro. And here you can also request a trial license for this. And Kuka Sim Pro is a simulation tool where you could simulate your robotics and robotic cell together with cycle times and so on. And here you can download the software itself, and you can also request a demo key for this.
I have a question from the chat.
Okay.
Why is it so long delivery time for used robots?
Because these robots are, when ordered, they are totally worked through and reworked before delivery, actually. And this time is that time it will take. They are not going through the normal production flow, but actually it's a special workshop they go through to do that. That's at least part of these 5 weeks. That's the best answer I can give you. I will have to double check it and get back to you closer in that case. So here, if we get back to Kuka Sim, it's an example of one of these simulations done. Some of you have probably already seen this, but this is the actual result you could get out of Kuka Sim Pro together with cycle time analysis, for example. So this is actually both an offline simulation, but even a programming tool for those who like it. The third experience is also a software platform where you can download here and request a free trial, which is an IoT dashboard where you could connect your robots, obviously, but not only robots. You could actually connect all the equipment of your complete production cell here, being a PLC, an HMI, or drives, or whatever type of equipment you have here, and create your dashboard for the complete cell and its different components. And obviously you could have several production cells here as well. This is also a fairly new tool, so we will get back to that on a separate occasion. If we then move on from the features, there is one part of my.kuka.com that's called your personal content. And there's 4 tabs, obviously, there. The first part is what is called your assets. Here you can register your robots, which we have tried to done here. And you basically just put in your serial number for your robot and product type, and that will be registered. And once registered at Kuka, in this column here, all the technical documentation concerning that product will turn up here. Hereby you have a quick link to the valid technical information of the products you are using. The next part is what we mentioned earlier of my support. Here you have the possibility to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, create a support case. And once created, where you ask what type of support you want, if it's a technical port, if you're looking for spare parts or whatever, you put in a headline and a description of your problem, how to contact you in the best way, email, phone, whatever. And you have also the possibility to upload a file. That could be a diagnostic file, photographs, video, whatever. This will then be registered as a case, as an open case here. Now, we don't have any open cases right now, but you can also have a look at your closed cases in this case. And here you will see the history of your cases. And you can have the possibility to go into each case and see all the events that's happened on this case. My example here is a little bit poor because they are very simple cases which were closed immediately, more or less. But this will give you the history of the file, and you will see the direct status of all your open cases, should you have any. So this is basically a fast and easy way to get in contact with our support crew at any time during the day and week. Next tab is actually a link to our Kuka College. And here you could either directly browse the what type of trainings we offer regionally, or directly just search if you want have a specific wish, need. But there's also something called a Kuka Learner Portal. And here you would have access to some of our free webinars. For example, under my training, you will see I have started a webinar training, an e-learning that's called Basic of the Robotics, which I've started, but I'm not yet finished. So here I could go in and I could continue this if I like. I can also browse the e-learning catalog, which then show there are a few more e-learning trainings that's possible for me to do free of charge. But I can also go into my resources. And there, if I had joined any of my training courses, you would see those trainings there, for example, and the documentations linked there as well. And this would be visible no matter which Kuka College you've joined. If it's here in the Nordics or in Germany, for example, you will get the same information at all instances. And then, of course, you have the possibility to add favorites to this as well. The fourth and last of your personal content is my licenses. And here you would see any type of software licenses you've purchased, or even trial licenses if you've downloaded them, and the expiration date for these in that case. Here you can also then download the license again if you for some reason have lost it or misplaced it. Any further questions right now? The last part of my.kuka is a few cloud-based softwares, where the first software is something called Kuka Connect, which today comes installed as a trial license on all our robots. Now, obviously, I haven't connected my Kuka Connect to any demo robot we have here, but here you get a cloud-based tool which shows you the actual status of that robot, running time, service time, and all the other informations directly. There's also a software called Kuka Compose, and we actually have a separate webinar on this tomorrow already. This is a tool where you could put in your load data, choose a number of suiting robots, and compare the load scenarios here, and document why you would choose a specific robot for a specific application. But as I said, we will do a separate webinar on this topic tomorrow. The third cloud software is what we mentioned earlier, Kuka Expert, which is basically our Wikipedia or Google search for all technical information for our robots and our products. And here you can browse and search for all type of information that could be product news or service information for whatever product I like. And then you will get that as downloadable information here. And we will be doing a separate webinar also for this part that is so big in itself on Thursday for those who are interested. This covers mostly what you can find at my.kuka. It should be pointed out that this is still early and we will continue to expand this with features, and both features and cloud softwares for you to be able to make the maximum use of your robots and Kuka, working together with Kuka. So before I leave you, I would like to promote our upcoming webinars. I've already mentioned them, that we have 3 more planned for this week. Kuka Compose and Expert, I have talked a lot about already. We also have on Friday a webinar of something called Gripper Spot Tech. And during next week, we will start off with safe operation and safe range monitoring, Kuka Easy HMI. And at the end of the week, we will actually present 2 of our newest products, namely the Kuka KR IonTech and the Kuka KR ATL family of linear robots. And with this, I thank you for your attention. Hope for any further questions. And we are depending on your input. We intend to continue these webinars on a regular basis and would deeply appreciate any suggestions for webinars, topics for webinars. And questions or these wishes, put an email to this address and we will make sure it happens. And with that, I thank you for your time and hope you have a nice afternoon.